anything really matter?
What does it matter? I mean, it matters.
Well, it does matter.
What's the matter?
It matters.
Well, it doesn't a lot.
Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you? I mean, what does it matter?
And that matters a lot.
What does it matter?
What's the matter? Does it matter to you?
It matters to me.
Hello and welcome to Tallahassee Matters. I'm Tamara Smith. On today's show, we have two topics for you. Later, we'll tag along with the city's leadership team as they tour one of Tallahassee's major service organizations. But first, we have a report about emergency response. Recently, public service agencies participated in a mock exercise to sharpen their skills in response to hazardous materials emergencies. Well, our cameras were there. Let's see how it went.
Is there a nearby government agency that plans for disasters like this? Or this? People assume the emergency response will come together in an efficient and coordinated way in a disaster, but that only happens with preparation. All over the country, we have local emergency planning committees, or LEPCs, that network with emergency responders to help them work together in major disasters.
My name is Chris Rito. I'm the District 2 Local Emergency Planning Committee staff person. The District 2 LEPC, it's a regional entity. It's 9 counties. It's Jackson, Calhoun, and Gulf on the west, all the way to Jefferson County on the east. The LEPC provides hazardous materials planning, training, outreach, and exercises to that 9-county region. As far as this exercise, we formed a planning team about 3 months ago and determined the objectives that we wanted to test with the exercise. And the scenario for this exercise was a student brings a device to school. It's just a normal day at the chemistry lab at a local high school. The device goes off and the students are exposed to a hazardous material in the class.
Your face is red because this is burning. Tell me what you have.
I'm burning all over, but I don't have any shortness of breath.
They're not really sure what took place. The teacher evacuates the classroom. The students are complaining of burning skin and eyes, shortness of breath. Notifications for assistance are made, and that's where the responders show up. That's the limited amount of information that they have. They're thrown into the scene, and they have to respond according to their plans and procedures.
Today at around 8:45, local emergency responders received a call at Canopy Oak School about a chemical reaction that took place inside a classroom. And the school resource officer made contact with students and teachers in the courtyard that had been exposed to a chemical. We had 15 total students and a teacher affected.
Do you know where it is?
I have no idea.
Do you know where he might be?
I don't know.
You didn't know?
I just heard a big pop.
What'd you hear? What'd you see?
It was a big pop.
Emergency crews arrived on scene. We determined that we had one patient inside the classroom that was in a wheelchair that had fallen out of the wheelchair, so we had one patient inside. We had 14 patients in the courtyard and worked through decontaminating the patients, transporting some of those to area hospitals, and making the scene safe.
We've had some type of chemical spill in the classroom. We have some kids that have been affected. They're complaining of burning and itching skin. Their eyes are burning. The classroom's been cleared. They're all in the courtyard.
Teenage kids complaining of burns. Looks like most of them are out of the classroom at this time. We're going to keep them contained here until we can find out a little bit more information.
Y'all burning too? Can y'all walk? Follow me. You can follow this sidewalk out. Y'all head down the sidewalk.
The exercise, it's all based on hazardous materials. One of our objectives was mass decon or decontamination, where students were exposed to a chemical, they have to be decontaminated, which basically means remove the chemical through washing. They go through initially gross decon. Gross decontamination essentially means let's dilute the material, the hazardous material that's on the victim. Then they go through more of a technical decon once they find out what that chemical actually is, where they alter their treatment based on that chemical. Technical decon a lot of times involves a mobile shower and then a series of tubs from that point on.
Bag C has what you're going to put on and a towel. Okay? You're going to make sure you close up bag B nice and tight. All right?
They then hand off those patients to emergency medical services. Leon County EMS participated in the exercise, and this was a great opportunity for them to learn what procedures they're to adopt based on once the victims have been deconned. They offer some more medical assistance, coordinate with the hospitals, prepare the hospitals to receive those patients, and then they actually transported those patients off scene, but they didn't actually go to the hospital, they just kind of looped back around.
All right, here's your next two. Itchy neck, itchy eyes, no complaint. So if you no complaint on this one. So if you can just do a quick set of vitals and get him out.
We'll do. Looks like we're going to have
transport.
We'll do.
How many transports do you have so far?
So far we have 2. This will be 3, and 2 dry runs. We'll be sitting
Okay,
at the table.
just let me know.
Okay.
We always open up our exercises to other agencies that would like to participate. So the Big Bend Regional Bomb Squad also wanted to participate in the exercise. So we built into the scenario that the student that brought this device to his classroom may have also had more bomb making materials in his car. And that was the trigger to get them involved as well.
Was he in your classroom?
He did.
Who gave you this information?
He was saying something about his car, and then everything exploded. I don't, that's all I remember. I don't.
Deputy Reed to TFD. Deputy Reed, TFD, we've been notified there may be additional devices in a vehicle in the parking lot. I'm trying to get further information on that.
The Big Bend Regional Bomb Squad is comprised of 4 individual bomb squads. The bomb squad from the Leon County Sheriff's Office, obviously the Tallahassee Police Department's Hazardous Devices team, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, as well as State Fire Marshal also has a bomb squad.
There's a device that went off in the chemistry room.
Okay.
We've evacuated. TFD is stationed out there with their command post. They're tending to the injured. The rest of the school's been evacuated. We got information. There's another device, and it's in a vehicle in the parking lot of the front of the school.
Just like any other call, you're not going to have too much information initially, and as you respond, you're going to start to gather information, and you're going to do a threat assessment. A threat assessment is the process by which you gather as much information as possible about the device that you're going to be dealing with. Through that investigation, it was determined there was a suspect vehicle in the parking lot. We sent a robot downrange to evaluate that. While we're doing that, we can prepare some of the larger robots that may deploy some of our tools that may be able to help us render safe any devices we encounter. We found 2 suspicious items, a briefcase in the front seat, a backpack in the back seat. So we had to work on accessing the vehicle, to determine whether these two items were a threat or not. One of the basic theories of bomb disposal is that you start remote and stay remote. To start in a safe area and use remote means, such as a robot, to go downrange and do most of the work. And you want to stay remote as long as you can. Some scenarios do not allow you to do that, and you do have to commit bomb technicians downrange.
Stand by in case it blows up and they're sending people down?
Yeah,
You assign 2 medics and he'll post them somewhere if something bad happens?
Are they going to be in full bomb suit?
They'll be in level B with SCBA and a bomb suit on top of that.
A common stereotype that we see in movies and television would be what's known in the bomb disposal world as a hand entry, and that is when a bomb technician is downrange, actually physically with his hands, working to disassemble whatever the suspected device is. That does not happen very often. Our goal most times is to evacuate the area so that if the device goes off, it's a property damage only problem, then we can use the robots and take our time.
Sergeant Armstrong. Go ahead. Looks like there's something in the back, passenger seats, passenger side seat. I'm going to pop the window and get a better look. Good point. Yep, go ahead. Front passenger seat, black briefcase.
Once we were able to access the vehicle, the backpack was determined not to be a threat. The briefcase in the front was determined to be a threat, and we chose to disrupt it explosively with a small precision charge to access that briefcase, find out what's inside of it. Again, it was a small explosive charge that was used to open that briefcase, but also to render it safe so that it would not function as designed.
Doors open.
Doors open.
And hold! And hold! And hold!
I thought this training exercise was very beneficial because it helps us pull out a lot of our equipment, work and respond as our regional bomb squad, and to systematically go through a large scenario with evaluators so that we can have an after-action review and be able to find out what our strengths are and those areas that we may need to work on.
Is that rear window busted?
When we do an exercise like this, we're required to use what's called the Homeland Security Exercise and Evaluation Program, HSEP. We establish our objectives. We then bring in evaluators who are subject matter experts in each of the fields that we're evaluating.
There was a boom, but now my face is burning. In the chemistry lab.
We need to find out more about the student that caused this. You know what I'm saying?
The HSEP program also requires us to do an after-action report and an improvement plan. I take the evaluation notes that I receive from the evaluators, compile that into an after-action report, and then we take suggested recommendations and we put that into an improvement plan. We'll have an after-action conference, then identifying a time when that improvement will actually take place for accountability.
We really feel like it was a huge success. I can tell you the evaluator from the Gainesville Fire Rescue was quick to tell us that it was 19 minutes from the minute we put foot on the ground till we got the last person out of the classroom. And that's extremely efficient. I mean, these incidents take several hours, and the life safety portion of that, to have that sort of resolved that early, that's really a key for us.
This opportunity is rare for us to look at our mistakes, look inward and fix them. We need to do these exercises all the time with all of our own.
When we work together out here, it doesn't mean anything if we can't all communicate after the fact and really have an opportunity to catch up on the way things went. Well, here we have the opportunity to put everything down, walk into an area and start to really talk about what challenges did you have, what challenges did you face. It's key. It's really what the whole thing is about. If you don't do that, then you haven't accomplished anything.
But now one thing we do that, and we didn't go as far today because it was a training, but we strip them down completely. So we take it all off, and then they have towels. If they're ambulatory, they can move whatever.
The school system actually partnered with us in this exercise and shared with us some of their plans on what they would do. So this was a great opportunity for all the agencies to work together to better understand how the dynamic and response would work. I am surprised on some of the incidents that I see in the news. You know, recently when we hear about the incident in West Texas where the facility exploded, it was a fertilizer plant. The LEPC, they're supposed to help out with those sort of things. And when you see on the news that they didn't know what the LEPC was, they didn't know who the LEPC chairperson was, they didn't know that it existed, that was kind of an eye-opener for us in Florida that we are really ahead of the game having a funded system where the LEPC is active. We're fortunate in Florida in some ways that our emergency management system gets a lot more practice because of hurricanes. So that kind of bleeds over in some of our other disciplines, including hazardous materials.
Does it matter to you?
It matters to me.
I love when Daddy's not to cook dinner. I miss eating dinner with my family in our own kitchen.
Over 550 children in Tallahassee are missing the simple joys of being a kid.
I had a sleepover at my house, and we stayed up really late.
I miss having my own bed. I miss having our own house.
550 kids missing the simple comfort of having a place to call home. Join the Change for Change program by simply adding a monthly contribution to your city utility account, and help support an organization dedicated to helping homeless families by easing the burden of the really tough questions and helping families reach their ultimate goal. For the cost of just a gallon of milk, you can help all our kids enjoy the simple, extraordinary things about just being a kid.
Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes, and stay informed during severe weather any way you can.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Does it matter to you?
It matters to me.
Welcome back to Tallahassee Matters. I'm Tamara Smith. The word Goodwill has a few different meanings, but I'll bet one that comes to mind is resale shops or donating used items. Let's watch as our city's leadership team learns that those popular resale shops are the foundation for a big service organization.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Same here.
Before.
All right.
Yes. Today was a wonderful opportunity to invite the city to come and be a part of Goodwill. A lot of people, they know us only for our stores. They know they can donate, they can shop with us, but they don't know the behind the scenes of what all we do.
I guess everybody just kind of get together maybe under the Goodwill and make sure your face can see Russell. Good morning, everyone. We are thrilled to have you at Goodwill. Goodwill has been around since 1902. We were founded in Boston by a Methodist minister, Dr. Edgar Helms, and he started off by just collecting items and giving them to people at his church. And after about a year of doing this, he realized this really wasn't what he wanted to do. He wasn't seeing a big enough difference, and so he decided to change his method. And he still went around with a burlap sack to folks that did have things and asked them if they would donate them. And instead of giving them away, he came back and he had those that didn't have, he would train them on how to sort the items, place items, and they would hold church bazaar sales. And he paid them in wages. And it was also teaching them job skills and different things so that they could move on. That's a little bit about our history and just a little bit about how Goodwill is organized. There is Goodwill Industries International, and our CEO, Fred Shelfer, this past weekend has been asked to join the International Board of Directors.
We set a goal some years ago of serving 20 million people in the United States by the year 2020, and we've already surpassed that goal. To tackle what seems to be unsurmountable problems, Goodwill has focused on employment. Everything we do and all the things you'll see today, the bottom line of all of that is employment. Thank you for being here.
We're with Mr. Shelfer.
Oh, Mr. Shelfer.
You go, okay.
We're ready.
That's the way.
There's a lot of the business of Goodwill that you would not know unless you had an opportunity to come tour with Goodwill and spend the day with us, learning how we operate.
So you clear this out twice a day. This whole store's cleared out. They take what's out of the tubs. A lot of the stuff on the top shelf that's glass will stay a little bit longer, but the tubs get empty.
Goodwill Industries Big Bend is 22 counties in North Florida and South Georgia, and our services, everything is related to try to help one find and keep a meaningful job. We do this through our donated goods retail business, where our stores are a training facility as well as offer employment, and also our career training centers. We have 10 career training centers located throughout the community, one in Tallahassee, that offer free computer skills, job placement services, and educational skills such as financial literacy, GED preparation, adult basic education.
And once again, our Career Training Center, just to reiterate, is open to anyone in the public. English as a second language is also held in this class on Tuesday, so if you know of anyone that language is a barrier, that is offered free.
We had a small little mini job fair held in this room, and we had 44 participants and applicants come in.
Throughout our South Georgia, Florida area, we place about 500 participants a year, and we follow up with them. About 80% of those maintain employment.
The city came in, they got to tour all aspects of Goodwill. How we get a donation through the processing area to the floor, but also what do we do with the donations that don't sell? They got to see how we bale articles of clothing, shoes, books, purses, electronics that don't sell, how there's a market outside of Goodwill where those items are not going to our landfill, they're helping the environment, but they're also helping people because we're still getting an income from selling it on the salvage market.
How y'all doing this morning? Obviously, I'm Travis. I'm going to just show y'all how we bale our clothes. Normally our bales are anywhere between 900 to 1,100 pounds. About 4,300 pounds is what it takes to sell a truckload. We normally run through 1 to 2 truckloads a week, but that's just salvage clothes. They have been through all our stores. They go through one store, then they'll be sent to their sister store. Last resort is coming here and we'll sell it at salvage center. Y'all want to try?
I think maybe we're ready to get them to work because they've been listening to our talk forever.
They have. Probably will price these for around $2.99 a piece.
Over here in E&M, we do everything electrical or mechanical. So basically what we do is we test them. See, like this one is real filth. So before we can sell it, I got to go, it's gonna take me a little while to get it all cleaned up.
Are there some things that you look at and say, I'm not going to spend the time to get this
Yes, sir.
clean over the...
Yeah, if it takes an hour or two to clean, it's not worth our while. They'll send it to good sense and people can buy it for a cheaper price and they can clean it themselves. Open it up, see that the light works. And I see, well actually I would put something in there like coffee or something. Something's wrong with this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this was going to e-cycle, where they recycle and they get so much money for.
How long have you been here?
I've only been here a month. I'm a disabled veteran, and they gave me a chance. You know, I'm getting older, and a lot of times I put in for jobs and they don't never hear from me, but the streets gave me a chance.
It said on the floor about 3 weeks to a month, and if it hasn't sold, then we pull that.
This looks brand new.
It is.
Yeah.
Wear sunglasses?
Yeah.
Sunglasses too.
For $12.99? Come on, guys.
Come on, Monday.
The need for Goodwill services is great, and the greatest way to meet that need is to partner. The City of Tallahassee is just a wonderful partner for Goodwill Industries. We have a same mission where we want our citizens to be prosperous, thriving, and be self-sustaining. Goodwill is thrilled with our expansion that's happening in Tallahassee. We were able to purchase some additional land from the city and in return partner. So we were able to move our store to the corner of Pensacola and Mabry, which freed up the space at the old store that's allowing us to expand into a prosperity center.
The city partners with Goodwill almost a year and a half ago, and as part of the land transaction we did, they're providing the Prosperity Center. And they'll actually focus on youth and people that are homeless to try to help them get employment, help them with job interviews and things of that nature. So I think from that respect, it's going to be a very good partnership for Goodwill, the city, and the community. Frankly, I was impressed with the overall business operation of Goodwill. I didn't realize they generated about $28 million from 22 counties. I was impressed with the people here as well, how friendly they are and customer service oriented, and also the way that they take items from the community and recycle it so it doesn't end up in the landfill. They just have a great operation.
That's a lot of stuff.
Every time I come to an organization that is an outreach organization for the community, the first thing I do is to realize how fortunate I am. That's the first thing that sticks with me all the time. But how enormous this operation is really impressive. I mean, there are so many different facets of what they do here, to include its connection to the Dick Hauser Center, you know, child care, developmental disability care, therapy, all of those different things that I really didn't affiliate necessarily with Goodwill.
That's what he said. Back off, lady. That's my telephone.
Goodwill has been a sustaining nonprofit, and we've met a need, but the need is so much greater, and the City of Tallahassee is just a perfect opportunity for us. So partnering together, sharing resources, collaborating, and moving in the direction together is going to help us to serve more people jointly.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I hope that report will encourage you to donate unneeded but still usable items to your local Goodwill or similar service organizations. It helps those in need, and it's recycling at the same time. Well, that's all for this show. For WCOT, I'm Tamara Smith, and I'll see you next time on Tallahassee Matters.
Thank you.